way to go. I mean, this is really, really going very well. We have lost, collectively, in 3 weeks, Roadies, we have lost 153.8 pounds.
Oh, snap.
That's crazy and amazing all in once.
Crazy and amazing.
This week, the rest up Roadies are Sandy from the green team, Shyla from the orange team, and Leah from the pink team. But I want to specify and clarify that just because you guys go to the rest stop doesn't mean you're out of this competition.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. You know what I mean? Like, you still are going to weigh in. You still participate every week. The only change is that you are now qualified for the $50 prize instead of the $100 prize. That is it. That is the only change.
Yeah. We still want you to weigh in and send your videos and keep what you've been doing so it helps you stay accountable. It helps us keep this competition going so that we know how to track it.
Right.
Unfortunately, we did have a few roadies who...
roadies that quit this week. And they were already at the rest stop. Holly from the green team is no longer to participate. She's too busy with work and everything. So then we have Nay from Australia. She's having computer issues, so she is dropping out as well. And then Alyssa from the orange team, I messaged her and she never messaged me back. And I even checked the spam.
Alyssa,
checked everything.
If you see this...
So, I don't know if she's dropping out or, you know, what the deal is this week. So, maybe I'll hear from her later on. But that's what I wanted to say. I really want to specify that just because you guys go to the rest stop, whoever goes to the rest stop, it's far from over. Please still participate every week, okay?
Yeah.
Again, I want to say, roadies, I mean, we are really doing an amazing job here. Collectively, in 3 weeks, lose over 150 pounds. That's crazy. That's amazing. I mean,
and we're only 3 weeks in.
We got a long road, but it's good. We're doing really, really good. So, our temptations. My temptation this week, well, every week, is probably like sweets. I like sweets a tad too much. And what I try to do now is instead of, like, I used to be really bad. Like, I wanted something sweet pretty much every day. And now I kind of tell myself, okay, well, if you do good, you know, 5 out of the 7 days, then treat yourself one time in one day. You know what I mean? Have yourself something, a cookie or something to that effect. And then it's been helping me out a lot lately. I mean, other than being sick these last few days, and I really haven't had an appetite at all. Other than that, I mean, that's really helped me out temptation-wise, I guess. I mean, I guess. It works.
And so Jen asked me, like, what's my temptation? And we actually both thought about it. And it's like, well, I really am not tempted, per se, by food or eating even anything sweet. Really, it's a certain time of day for me where it's like, I feel weak in the knees. Shout out to SUV. Around, like, 8 o'clock to, like, because I go to sleep, like, y'all know, my sleep schedule is, like, it's banana sandwich. It's horrible. But I go to sleep around, you know, sometime after midnight, sometime before 3 a.m. is usually when I fall asleep. But I'm up, but, like, I try to have dinner by, like, 8-ish, and I try not to drink so much water, but it seems like if I'm sitting here, because this computer room, is right next to the kitchen. And so, sometimes, like, my dad will come home from work, and he'll make him, you know, something to eat or something, you know, and it's like, if I smell it, it's like, oh, snap. So, like, really from, like, 8 o'clock to, like, 10, 11 o'clock when I'm downstairs is, like, a temptation time, I guess. And what I do, this is so bad, I'll just go upstairs to my room and, like, be on the laptop and, like, you know, be on the computer and just take myself out of the situation. Because if I don't, it's, like, buffet at 11 o'clock at night. It's not good. So, or I'll go upstairs because my spin bike is actually in my room. Like, if I, you know, am just can't be down here right that minute, I'll go upstairs and I'll spin for a little bit, just take myself out of the situation, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's our temptations, and we know that a few of you have shared your temptations, so we're gonna end this video with that.
Jen's still having some issues.
I am sorry this video is going up so late. I just have been not feeling well at all, and
like,
I
literally,
still
she didn't get out of bed like for 2 days.
I started editing the video last night, and I was sitting here, and my head was just pounding.
So then I know you guys are wondering, well, Lisa, why don't you just pick up the slack and why don't you edit the video? Truth be told, I don't know how. I've edited one video in our entire a year and a half of being on YouTube, it took me 3 days. And it was a 4-minute video. No joke. So I'm not computer savvy like that. Jen, that's Jen's field. It's her lane. That's her. But I would like to learn just so that if we ever are in this situation again, that, you know, it's not just all on you. But
well, I appreciate it. So that's why this is going up so late. Sorry, next week's will be on time.
Mm-hmm. And
Wednesday.
We have no school.
So I will start editing on Tuesday once I start getting the videos in, and then on Wednesday
yes.
we'll do it. So what I want to say is for next week, if you guys can send a video, even if you do it before Tuesday, send a video of you guys doing some kind of workout. We are going to do the same. So some sort of workout, that's what we're going to discuss this week. This week is all about exercise. All right, roadies? Thank you guys so much for all your love and support through this whole Biggest Loser challenge. If you guys tune in just to watch it, we truly appreciate it.
We totally do.
We totally do. Okay, we love you guys. Enjoy these next clips of Temptation videos. Roadies, we will see you guys, guess what?
Mañana. Bye.
Hey guys, Paige here with another Biggest Loser Challenge update. I'm about to weigh in, but first, my temptation would definitely be soda. Any kind of soda. Love soda. I know how terrible it is for you, but sometimes there's nothing like an ice cold, from the fountain, Coca-Cola Classic on the rocks. I definitely love soda, and I know it's terrible for me, and even diet soda is so bad for you. So what I do to deal with it is I will treat myself like once a week or something like that, just so that I kind of like get the taste for it and, you know, still enjoy it, but definitely don't drink it every single day, that's for sure.
Hi guys, it's Griselda with the Green Team. This week's question was, what are your biggest temptations? For me, that's going to be pizza and sweets. Anything sweet, including pastries, more importantly in pastries. Cupcakes, chocolate, brownies, cookies, anything sweet. And for me right now, it's very difficult to avoid those things. If I see them, I want them. So the easiest thing for me to do is just stay away from them completely. I avoid break rooms. I avoid restaurants. I'm avoiding events just because I know if there's sweets, if I see them, I'm going to want them. So it's easiest just if I stay away. So, yep, that's how I do that. Talk to you guys next week.
Hey guys, how are you? Did you have a great week? Mine was alright. My weigh-in, not so much. Gained a ½ pound, but hey, is what it is. Moving on, the topic of the week, temptation, and how do I deal with it? I'm afraid I'm not going to have any very good ideas, but my biggest temptation is chocolate. Not even going to lie. There's a chocolate monster that lives within me, and there is 1 week out of the month where he becomes beastly and difficult to impossible to beat. I know, it sounds crazy, but during that week I actually feed the monster, but I am able to feed in moderation. So I will, you know, usually split a candy bar in half and have half today and half tomorrow. Something like that, but I do actually feed the indulgence of the chocolate monster. I should name him anyway. The other times during the month, it's not so bad. I do get chocolate cravings once in a great while, but they're not anything I can't handle, and typically I can just ignore it and move on, you know, have something to drink or some other kind of crunchy snack maybe, and I can move on. But once in a great while, I'll find some sort of alternative that's not quite high in fat, as high in fat and calories, like a chocolate protein bar or, you know, a chocolate protein shake. Something a little bit more healthier and still has some chocolate factor into it. So yeah, no great ideas for me here this week. I feed the temptation in moderation, and that seems to work for me. And I will admit that I am convinced chocolate has medicinal powers. So, just saying. I know, probably all in my head, but it works for me. So, Anyway, hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Hey, this is Lakeisha. The question we got for this week is what temptation we can't live without. I can't live without Bluebell ice cream, black walnut ice cream from Bluebell. Oh my God, that is good. And I try, but that's something I can't give up, and I try my best with, but that's a temptation I can't live without. All right, you guys, be blessed. Bye.
What's up, everybody? Socks Heather here. I am on the green team. Go green team. I'm not going to put this wig on this week, but it's the only thing green I really have. Question of the week. What is your biggest temptation, and how do you deal with temptation? My biggest temptation is probably eating out. Going out to eat and just enjoying myself. It's probably the biggest temptation. Even though I know I enjoy myself when I eat at home and I cook and I feel proud of myself when I do that, I love to go out for sushi with my husband or go out for happy hour with friends and things like that. I'm a very social butterfly. So that's probably my biggest temptation, are social situations. And the way I deal with it, I'm still learning how to deal with it, but I would say I'm having a lot more things at my house, like game night and things like that. On Sundays, I've been meeting with a friend, and instead of, going out for drinks during the week, or on the weekends, we're going walking. Last weekend, we did 4 miles. So just finding alternative social situations, I think, is a huge deal for me and for everyone, I guess, because so many times we focus our things around food, celebrating, mourning, everything. We center it around food. So that's probably the biggest thing for me, is finding an alternative activity to eating or drinking with friends. And going for walks, I find, is a good one. Board games where I can be at home and cook my own food, that's a good one. That's my answer. Hope everybody's doing well. You guys have a great week. I'm coming at you next week.
Hi, Jillian here, and this week we're talking about temptations and how we deal with them. I guess my biggest temptation would be fast food, because I work at a Burger King, so I'm around that kind of food all day, every day. I haven't eaten there in a few weeks now, so it's really just starting to smell gross, but it still tempts me once in a while. And the way I deal with that is I prepare things that are easy to just pop in the microwave or, ready to eat, because in that way it's convenient for me and easy, and I don't even have to think about it. I can just eat it, and it's just as easy as stopping at a fast food joint. Thank you.
Hey, Biggest Loser Challenge, this is Shyla. How I deal with temptation. I used to deal with temptation really good. I've been on my weight loss journey for a long time. I was 366 pounds. Lately, not so much. But there for a while, I just said no. So, just say no.
Hey roadies, so this week for the Biggest Loser Challenge, we were asked to share some temptations and how we deal with them. This is going to be really quick because I don't have that many temptations, honestly. I've been on this journey for about 2.5 years on and off. So I've learned really quickly to deal with temptations, but one temptation I still have is chips. I always want to get the chips in the store. And one way to deal with that is that I found that eating Triscuits helps me with that, because you still have the crunchiness. And for me, it wasn't really the saltiness or whatever. It was more the flavor of the chips and the crunchiness. So I usually eat Triscuits, and my favorite is the rosemary and olive oil kind. And as far as cravings and temptations go in the store, I just try to avoid the junk food aisle altogether. Because I know if I go down that aisle, I'm going to want stuff, and so just avoiding it helps too with my temptations. So I hope you all had a great week, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Hi roadies, so this week we are talking about how we deal with temptations. And from my experience on my journey, what I've really trained myself to do is to allow myself to have almost anything really, when I'm really craving it, in small portions. And to be able to do that, I keep certain key items at home, not so much healthier, but I make sure I have them on hand so that when certain cravings hit, I have something to go to and to control the portion. So for example, I love chocolate. I keep a small bag of chocolate chips in my pantry, and if I'm really craving it and I have, in my case, enough Weight Watchers points left, I will allow myself to have the serving size, which is 1 tablespoon. And I've trained myself to be able to just have the 1 tablespoon, even though it's really hard sometimes, because I still get the taste and I don't feel deprived. Because I truly believe that if you just avoid certain foods for the rest of your life, which most of us can't, you're doomed for failure. So I also keep certain ice cream products like Skinny Cow in my freezer. So for those moments when I just really feel like having something and I have enough points to do it, because to me there's nothing wrong with it. We live in the real world, and in the real world we eat foods like that sometimes, and we just have to teach ourselves to be able to control our portions. So that is my tip for the week.
Hi roadies. Alright, so my biggest temptation is sweets of any kind, like just any kind of sweets, chocolate, cupcakes, just anything sweet, candy. That is my biggest thing. And I know a lot of people are like salty people or maybe like savory kind of foods, but my thing is sweets. And specifically, I really love chocolate. So the way that I deal with that is I don't buy like candy bars or any kind of chocolate bars or anything anymore. I actually just buy a bag of chocolate chips. And usually I do dark chocolate because I'm really kind of a dark chocolate kind of person. I buy the dark chocolate chips, and if I'm having a chocolate craving, I'll just have a tablespoon or a little handful of chocolate chips. And that way I'm not tempted to have like an entire candy bar or an entire chocolate bar, you know? And that way I still have my chocolate fix without any other kind of sugars like caramel or any other kind of candies or anything, you know? And that way I get something sweet and I'm not completely depriving myself. So that is my biggest temptation.
I would say probably my temptations that I'm fighting right now is just brainless eating and bad habits, and facing them now and saying, wait a second, that you can't do that anymore. There's a pizza parlor on my way home from my evening job, and they sell pizza by the slice, and they're open late. And it's just like, go and get a piece of pizza. Or on break, I have 15 minutes break, and I do want to get out of that store. And so I get in my car, I drive to Wendy's, get through the drive-through line, sit in my car, eat the food, and go back in. And it's like, without thinking, I would do that. And I've got to realize those patterns and get away from them. This was a bad week, and I really didn't have a plan. I realize now I'm going to have to get to Weight Watchers. I've just been kind of like doing Weight Watchers that I kind of knew. I'm going to have to get there and get a plan. And now kind of a confessional for Biggest Loser. Without getting into too much, I've gone through recovery before. Serious recovery. And since I went through that and successfully gone through that and held it steady for, oh goodness, about 12 years. Since I went through that, which was the toughest struggle of my life, I know I can get through this. But that doesn't make this any easier. But 2 things I know from going through recovery before. I recognize an addiction when I see it. And this eating is an addiction with me. And the second thing that I know is that the worst things happen after you say the words, oh, what the hell? You know, how many times have you said the words, oh, what the hell, and then just stuffed? Oh, what the hell should be this huge red flag, this huge put me in my bedroom and nail me to my bed because I am out of control. And this week I have said, oh, what the hell, so many times. trying to face, facing up to a temptation and then giving in. This has been a really, really bad week and a really bad recovery at the end to make sure that I am down on the scale. But even though the number went down, by no means was this week a success. I'm actually pretty upset with myself. So I haven't been facing my temptations well, and but I will guarantee you that this next week I'm going to be much stronger.
Hey birdies, hope you're doing really well on your challenge so far. This week's video, temptations. So my biggest temptation, it's not chocolate, and it's not fizzies, and it's not takeaways, and it's not McDonald's or anything like that. It's really, really funny. It's actually pasta. Pasta is my biggest temptation of all. Pasta is pasta dishes, mainly the creamy stuff like the carbonara, otherwise the spaghetti bolognese, or even just a pasta on its own, cooked pasta on its own with a bit of butter and a bit of salt. That's me. Well, actually that was me. But that is my biggest temptation. How I conquer that temptation is I talk to myself. I really do, ladies and gentlemen, if there's gentlemen out there, but ladies, I talk to myself. So for example, if I'm feeling like a pasta, I will always ask myself, okay, are you wanting pasta because you just saw it in the cupboard or fridge? Are you wanting the pasta because someone has just finished speaking about it, talking about it? Or do you want the pasta because you really want the pasta? Because your body's telling you that you want the pasta. Like those random cravings. And 99% of the time it is because I saw it on TV or in a movie, like someone like a character in the movie is like eating pasta. Or someone just spoke about it, or I saw, would see the uncooked ones in the packet in the cupboard. Those are usually the times where I would feel like it. But yeah, I always have that conversation with myself. Do I really want it? And yeah, don't ask me how. I talk myself out of it, or just really get down deep and figure out, do I really want it? I guess I'm just at that stage now where both my body and my mindset is finally on the same page, or is pretty much on the same page now. Whereas I used to be like, just think about pasta and I would just go and cook it and eat it, and then I'm like, well, it's not really what I want, and then I end up eating what my body really wants because I haven't really had that process sort of with myself. I know it's crazy, but that's how I do it. But yeah, so that's my biggest temptation, and that's how I conquer it. Can't wait to hear how everyone else conquers their temptations and what theirs are as well. But anyway, that's me for this week. We'll see you all next week. Good luck on your weigh-ins, and we'll catch you all then. See ya.
One of my biggest temptations is chocolate, candies, sweet stuff, anything like that. I've kind of come to the realization that throughout my pregnancy, I had a bit of a sweet tooth, and I gave into it a lot. I didn't, go overboard in portions of, giving into it, but I definitely, when I wanted it, would have a candy bar, would have ice cream, would have, something candy-ish. And so now I'm finding it very hard to break that habit, but I'm trying, and so far I've been pretty successful. Yeah, that's my biggest thing right now. So that's it. I hope that the rest of you had a really great weigh-ins, and I will see you next week, hopefully with another loss. Yay! Bye!
Hey guys, it's Martha from the Pink Team. Temptations. When I am trying really hard to avoid a temptation, get out of totally giving in, the only thing that really works for me is to distract myself. Sometimes I'll do that with, if it's really that I just want to eat something, then I'll find something healthy to eat, if that's what I'm really, like, wanting. But for other distractions, it's like I do a craft, or I clean something, like do my room, or do organizing, or I leave, go to the movies, watch a movie, play a game, like just anything to distract myself. Like when it's warmer, if I need a distraction, I can just go for a walk or go outside or whatever. So yeah, that's how I avoid temptation, just by distracting myself and trying not to think about it.
The way that I deal with temptation is I allow myself to have whatever it is that my body is requesting, or my brain, or whatever it is, and I eat it. I feel that if I restrict myself from eating anything that I am craving, that I am setting myself up to binge later on. So therefore I refuse to allow myself to set myself up for failure, I guess. So I will eat whatever it is that I am craving at that particular time. I feel that it is beneficial for anybody to eat what it is that they need to eat, and you move on from it. You don't eat massive amounts of anything. You just portion out what you want, eat it, and move on. And that's it. And that's how I deal with my temptation. Alright guys, I hope everybody's doing great on their journeys, and I will look forward to hearing everybody else's response. Take care guys. Talk to you soon.
Hi fellow losers. So, this week's question is, drumroll, how do you deal with temptation? So, I basically have my two main ways. People, my first one is people. I have a group of people that I can talk to and or text and or do any, like, just contact when I'm feeling tempted to do something that I know I probably shouldn't. And so the support really helps, and even this YouTube thing helps a lot, just having that, I have to be accountable, I have to talk to somebody about it. That helps a lot. And two, I've noticed the gym. Going to the gym helps with temptation a lot, because I feel like when I go to the gym after a good workout, I'm like, okay, wait, I just did a good workout. I just burned 500 calories. I can't eat anything bad now and so it makes it much easier to say no to something that may tempt me. So those are my two things that really work for me. Temptation works. Talking to people and going to the gym. Bye.
Good morning. Today we are talking about temptations. And the best advice I could give, there are two pieces of advice. One, say no and walk away so you don't think twice. And number two, distraction. That's a big one for me. Like if I'm out somewhere, I'll just say no. If it's something that it's easy to say no to, no. And I'll walk away and I don't think twice about it. When I'm at home, a lot of times I will distract myself. Like if I'm thinking of, like if I just make cookies and they're all just kind of sitting there and you keep thinking, oh, I could go for it. Oh, they're really good. I will distract myself. Like literally, I don't want to say find something shiny and look at it, but I will find something else to do. I will say, you know what? I want to eat that cookie, but it's not worth it. So I'm going to go, like, what can I do that I'll enjoy? So I'll go work on a craft I have, or I'll go color a picture with the kids, or I'll go do something else that is fun for me. So I'm distracted so my brain doesn't think about it. So distraction and just say no. Like, drugs when you're little, just say no. That's the best advice I can give. I can't wait to hear what you guys have, because I know there are going to be some really good pieces of advice, because you guys are a really good group of ladies. You guys are smart. I hope you guys all had a good week, and I can't wait to see what you guys all say. And go Team Pink! Woo! Bye!
Hi, Life with Lala here. Yes, my hair is dripping wet. I just got out of the shower, but I knew that if I didn't film this right now, probably wasn't going to get to it. Last week I didn't film an answer for the question of the week because I couldn't pinpoint one. There was just so many great substitutions that I just couldn't just go with one. So I decided that this week I would go with the very first answer that came to my head when I heard the question. And that is, what is my biggest temptation? My biggest temptation is tomorrow. Waiting till tomorrow to get that workout in. Waiting till tomorrow to eat cleaner. Waiting till tomorrow to be more responsible, kind, loving, caring, understanding, available. But you know what? I'm learning that I can do everything today better than had I waited till tomorrow. Does that make any sense? I hope it makes sense. But I am trying so hard to remember that today is the perfect day. If I thought of doing it today, why shouldn't I do it today? Why wait until tomorrow? Tomorrow doesn't have any special meaning, but today does. You only get one chance at today, and we're not promised tomorrow, so why wait? A couple of days ago, if not, I think it was in the beginning of this month, it might have been at the end of last month, I had found this picture and I posted it on my Facebook page just because I thought it was the most perfect description of the word tomorrow. It says that it's a mystical land where 99% of all human productivity, motivation, and achievement is stored. That is so very true. So I am trying so hard to stop giving in to the temptation of tomorrow.
Hey everyone, Jamie from the pink team. It's too bad we don't have a brown team because I always seem to be wearing this shirt. This is my video on my biggest temptation and how I avoid it. What I try to do is not to avoid any foods. I follow the philosophy of if it's within your calories and your budget of food, of what you're going to eat in a week, then I don't feel you should not deprive yourself, because once you do, eventually you will cave in, and you will cave in big time. We're talking binge-ola. So what I like to do is allow myself, temptation that I say is chips, potato chips, any kind of chips, tortilla chips with dip, right? So I'll go buy dip and chips, and I try not to anymore, but I used to do this, and eat the whole bag, or half the bag, and then half the bag the next day, and all the dip. It's ridiculous. So what I try to do is allow myself some of that every so often. Not necessarily every week, but if I'm really, really craving it and I keep thinking about it day after day, I let myself have some of that. It tends to help me not eat more of it. If I have that mindset that I am not going to deprive myself of anything, because once I start saying I can't have something, like when you try to do low carb, I can't have carbs. What do you want? The simplest of carbs. The simplest of things you never thought you really liked, because it's a carb. So I tend to try not to deprive myself of anything and not to avoid it, but rather plan that I'm going to someday want that and have a smaller portion of it and fit it into my calories for that day or that week. So that's my 2 cents on that. I hope it's helpful, and we'll see everybody on the video in the next day or two. Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Hi, so my biggest temptation I think would have to be bread, especially like a French bread or a baguette or something like that. When we go out to restaurants and they bring that basket of bread, and it's so tempting to just, take another bite and take another bite and have one with your salad, have some more with your meal, take some more home with you. That is one of my biggest temptations, and I most recently was faced with that temptation, and we just kind of moved it to the side. It wasn't there, and we made it through, and I think I only had one serving, which is amazing, because before I would have just eliminated the entire basket, but I didn't. So I think I'm just being more aware of what is in that serving, and that's pretty much it. I mean, bread is one of my biggest temptations, and I think just portion control and really just saying, what do I want? Do I want to eat this piece of bread and another piece and just blow what I've been working towards? What is more important? And it is hard, but I don't know. We're going, each day with that question in our brains, is this donut more important to me, or is losing weight more important to me? And it's really just an all the time question that has to be on your mind, because if you say, okay, well, I'm gonna eat this today and then I'll do this later to burn it off, and that doesn't always happen, because later comes and then you're like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, I'll just do it tomorrow. So for me, it's just been better to be aware of what am I consuming, what's more important to me, how much do I want it. So it's been something that I've had to face, you know, sometimes on a daily basis, depending on what's around me, because I love food. I enjoy different foods, and unfortunately it's not the right foods, so it's just an everyday battle. So I hope that this helps, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.
Okay, so something I'm just realizing while I edit this video is I have way more temptations than chocolate. Because watching everybody's temptation video, I was like, oh yeah, that is tempting. I do have that. Oh.
She got to Kelly's video and she's like, oh my god, I love pasta.
So I paused it. I was like, I truly believe Kelly from New Zealand and I could be best friends if she lived close to me. We could like hang out, and because that is like I am so the same exact way when it comes to pasta. And I'm thinking I should really change my answer.
Yeah.
It really should not be sweets. It should be
really.
And then
Everything's a temptation, so we're finding out.
Then I hear Yolanda about bread. It was like, oh, I love when they bring the bread. Okay, so this will be the last video we talk about our temptations of food, because I can't. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, that sounds so good.
Because like for bread, this is kind of going back to last week for the substitute video, but for bread, like we've now started using that 35-calorie bread, which I mean,
Aunt Millie's.
Granted, it's not like the oat nut OMG bread, but I mean, it's bread, so I mean,
even an O.
It's not even an O. It's just the MT.
G.
Whatever. Anyways, and then we've been using like those sandwich thins that are 100 calories.
Yeah.
I think this week, this is totally going off where Jen didn't want to go, by the way, but I think this week, what we're going to do,
almost an hour long.
You guys have been asking about the like really popular thing that I post on my Instagram with the spinach and the chicken. I think I'm going to do that, and not like for a teleport, just kind of showing you guys, because I eat that meal like a lot a week.
Yeah.
I eat it a lot, because it's so good.
It is good. Okay, so that's what I want to say, is that basically I have many temptations after editing this video.
We're like Temptation Island!
And I just can only visualize the bread and the pasta. And then I'm thinking, bread and pasta, and if I had something sweet for dessert.
Okay, Kelly, hi. Is a fizzy like soda or pop? What's a fizzy? I think that's what you said. But I'm not sure. We're not sure what that is. Is a fizzy a soda? I think
you make me want to come to New Zealand. Like, seriously.
I want to have a fizzy. I don't even know what the hell it is, but I want to have one.
Okay, so that's really, we wanted just to come on here and say, yes, we have many temptations.
Yes.
And secondly, the last clip is from Sandy, Mom's Opinion. Yes. I'm going to put her video last because it's, I didn't want to cut it down because it was such a good video and I didn't know what part just to cut. So I'm just going to put the whole video, the whole clip in its entirety. Sandy has had a rough week. They changed her medication. Just to brief it before you watch it, she's had a rough week. She gained this week. She's on different medication, and it's messing with her system, and she's frustrated. And I know even if you haven't been on different medication, we all know what it's like to be frustrated with weight loss.
Yeah.
So personally, I just wanted to say, Sandy, keep your head up. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Like I said, I sent you a message, a few days ago saying this is just a small bump in the road of success.
That's it.
Don't even sweat it, okay?
Because we can tell, like, and when you see this video that you're about to watch, she's like, you can tell it's just really, it's getting to her. And like Jen said, like we've been there. You've been there, where you're trying and it just seems like everything is coming at you at once.
Exactly.
And you get stressed out. Like, last week, if you were to talk to me last week, what's today? Friday? This time last week, I was a banana sandwich. I was like prepping for finals. I was seriously about to.
Banana sandwich.
I was gonna go out of my mind with these finals this past week. When I got to Wednesday,
okay, wrap it up. Come on, we're already in 5 minutes. This video's gonna be an hour long.
She's cutting me out. I love you.
Remember this when we worked for the TV station? Like,
I
wrap it up.
hated that place.
Wrap
I
it
don't
up.
care.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, don't make me call you a bad man.
Okay, Roadies, Sandy, each and every one of you, we love you. Be strong this week. I know the week's half over, but hey, we still have half a week to go.
Yes.
Be strong. We got this. One day at a time. Hell, one meal at a time. We are going to succeed, Roadies.
Yes.
Definitely. Here's Sandy's clip. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes. Be sure to like the Facebooks, please.
What?
Be sure to like the Facebook.
Okay, I'll put it on. Oh, and down below will be Martha's link as well. I've totally not realized. Totally not realized.
Jen!
Martha's link.
We gotta go!
Martha's link has not been in the bottom description.
Oh, way to go! Hating on the pink team, are ya?
Okay, we love you. Bye.
Temptations. The biggest one right now I'm dealing with is wanting to just give up. I have been going to the doctors a lot lately. You know, my regular doctor as well as someone who's helping me with the diet. Because we found issues with stones and kidney and liver and you name it. High blood pressure, and of course we're trying to address all of them. And so their solution is to give me some medication that's going to cause retention and weight gain. And it did. A lot. I stuck to the diet as much as I possibly could. I drank the water like I was supposed to. And I ended up pretty much back to where I started from. Managed to get some of it off. This morning I woke up not feeling good at all. Real bad cramps and hurting and everything. The upside is my blood pressure without the medication is below what it normally is. So it's actually in a good range. It's in a good spot. It's, you know, the 110s. You know, 121 is, I think, the highest it's been. I had one day where it was all over the place, and I took one pill, ended up having it in the 96 range, and it was like not good though. So we didn't do that no more. But it's when you're having problems gaining weight, not losing any. It gets really hard. The thing is that you have to make friends and then surround yourself with people that encourage you to keep going, and so you don't want to give up. And it's good, you know. It's sometimes your temptations are like food. You know, like this last week, or last couple of weeks actually, I've been tempted to have like chicken noodle soup. I like chicken noodle soup, I like tomato soup, I like potato soup. I found a replacement for the chicken noodle and the tomato, but the potato, my mom happened to be making potato soup one day, and I had one bite, and at least kind of calmed the want. You know, it calmed the want real bad. But on the chicken noodle, of course, I can't have the noodles because of the glycemic issue, and never mind the sodium. And so McKenna had a vegetable soup that was allowed by Weight Watchers, and I talked to the doctor, and he wanted me to put more vegetables in it. Of course, no salt and all that good stuff. And I managed to make a really good, kind of like a chicken stew, more like, and it satisfied the want for the chicken noodle soup. And then we went to the health food store. I had to get actually some medicine that the doctor wanted me to get, and the only place you can get it was at the health food store. And while I was there, I found some tomato soup that was low sodium, and all the ingredients were cool, and so I went and got that and enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun. But this week, medications were changed, and I was told I was going to gain weight, and I did. A lot. And it doesn't matter that I stuck to the diet, doesn't matter that I did my workouts like I was supposed to, doesn't matter anything. You know, my only yeah, it's just frustrating, but I know it's something that I have to work through. And hopefully soon whatever's going on will correct itself, and then finally the weight will come off. Well, it came down some, because it was a lot higher earlier. And, you know, I'm tempted to just stop taking the medication. Tempted to just give up on the diet. But I will keep pursuing. And thankfully I got all of you guys to encourage me. And I really do appreciate that. One of my goals is to be able to fit that shirt back there. It's about 2 sizes too small. So I thought I'd put that up there to remind me to keep going. And sometimes that's what you need for your temptations, is to put stuff up to remind you to keep going, or to remind you to leave things alone. I've known people to put pictures on the refrigerator to avoid the refrigerator. So keep plugging, keep going, and keep encouraging. It helps.